Looking for James. He's got it. Coming to the end of the third quarter. LeBron James, a shot at history. And there it is! LeBron stands alone! The NBA's all-time scoring record now belongs to LeBron James.
This wasn't supposed to happen. It was a record that was thought to never be broken in today's NBA of load management, injury management, and player empowerment, where they could just sit out games while they demanded a trade. LeBron James setting the record for most points scored in NBA history, surpassing the previous record held for 34 years by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, is such a difficult feat that you really have to understand mathematically how this was damn near impossible to do. And it's why, dare I say it, this record, which LeBron James has just set and will continue to add to, will never be broken again, and I'm here to explain why. If you're new to the channel and you enjoy this type of content, then do me a favor and hit that subscribe button to help the channel grow, and in return, I'll be providing more NBA content like this all season long. When LeBron James entered the league back in 2003 as the most hyped prospect the game had ever seen, people knew he was destined for greatness. We knew even before he stepped onto the court to play his first NBA basketball game that this was going to be the future superstar and face of the NBA. But what we didn't know was just how long LeBron would dominate in the NBA. You see, the average career length of a star player in the NBA has been around 12 years. Some outliers with careers cut short like Yao Ming, or very extensive careers like Vince Carter or Dirk Nowitzki, but unlike some of these former stars, LeBron James has consistently played at an elite level for 20 seasons now. Guys like Vince Carter, Dirk, Kevin Garnett, even Kobe Bryant were nowhere near putting on the kinds of performances we have seen from LeBron in his 20th season in the league. In fact, most of them could barely stay healthy enough to stay on the court for more than 15 minutes. Putting up double-figure scoring was considered a good game for these fellas when they were in their 20th season. But for LeBron, it's just putting up over 30 points per game on 50% shooting to go along with 8.5 rebounds and 7 assists. This is his 20th season in the NBA at the age of 38, and he's playing like he's in the peak of his prime. This wasn't supposed to happen. Now, I know some will say the scoring record that LeBron just set will eventually be broken. It's only a matter of time. In fact, there are some players in the league currently who could surpass LeBron, but not so fast. Here's the thing, LeBron James is still playing at an elite level and is showing no signs of slowing down. He himself has said he plans to play for a few more seasons after this, especially being able to play with his son Bronny James, who is set to enter the league in 2024 should he be drafted then. LeBron will without a doubt, barring any crazy injury that would end his career, is going to exceed 40,000 career points. Let's say for a moment that LeBron plays at a minimum 3 seasons after the 2022-23 season. And for argument's sake, let's say he declines somewhat, because eventually he has to, right? Even though we've been saying that for 5+ years now. And let's say over those 3 seasons, he averages 20 points per game. Each year, his points go down a bit. And we'll also say he averages 60 games of the 82-game season, given he's already set the scoring record. He's going to be going into his 40s. He's probably going to be sitting out some games here and there. 60 games times 3 seasons at 20 points per game. That's 3,600 added points for LeBron James' career. We'll also add another 600 points for the rest of the season. We'll assume LeBron only plays another 20 or so games for the rest of this year, making it a total of 4,200 points for the rest of his NBA career. That would put him at a whopping total, finishing out his career at 42,600 points. Now, to put that into perspective, what it would take for some of the other elite scorers in the league to achieve this feat. Players who some say have the capability to rival LeBron's record based on the trajectory of current scoring totals, durability, and improved play over time. Guys like Luka Doncic, Giannis, Jason Tatum, Nikola Jokic, Joel Embiid, even SGA or Ja Morant. Or you also have some of the older veterans who have already climbed the scoring ladder and are still elite level scorers in their 30s. Players like Damian Lillard, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, James Harden, and even DeMar DeRozan. Well, let's start with one player who most considered to be the greatest shooter of all time, one of the greatest scorers the game has ever seen, in Steph Curry. Steph Curry currently sits 44th on the all-time scoring list with 21,134 points at the time of this recording. In order for Steph to surpass LeBron's estimated total points by the end of his career, Steph would have to more than double his current point total to exceed LeBron's, which would mean he would have to play at least another 860 games, averaging at least 25 points per game, over said 860 games to even pass LeBron by a mere 34 points on the all-time scoring list. That's another 10.5 seasons playing in all 82 games, averaging 25 points per game for Steph to pass LeBron James. Given Steph is currently 34 years old, soon to be 35, I have a hard time seeing Steph accomplishing this when he's in his mid-40s. Thus, Steph is out. A lot of it is due to the fact that Steph missed a good amount of time to start his career due to injury, as well as fewer longer injuries scattered throughout his career. And of course, Steph also entered the league when he was 21 compared to LeBron, who came straight out of high school at 18. But even despite the missed games from Steph, as great of a scorer as he's been throughout his career, he still doesn't match up against LeBron, who has averaged 27.2 points per game over his career to Steph's 24.5. Using Steph as an example for the older veterans means guys like DeMar DeRozan, Damian Lillard, and James Harden are all out as well, as all of these guys either have averaged less points than Curry over their careers at similar ages, or even if they have averaged more points over their careers than Steph, such as guys like Damian Lillard and James Harden who have averaged slightly more than Curry, they simply have missed too many games at their age to even come close to sniffing LeBron's scoring record. But what about Kevin Durant? He's the only player who has averaged more points in his career than LeBron James, albeit slightly by 1/10 of a point, and most consider Kevin Durant to be the second greatest scorer of all time behind Michael Jordan. Could KD do it? Well, unfortunately, like some of these other players, Kevin Durant has just missed too much time. He's currently 16th on the all-time scoring list at 26,684 points. He's only 34 years old, so he could conceivably play another 5 to 6 seasons. But even if KD plays the next 5 to 6 seasons for all 82 games, which we know wouldn't happen, and say he maintains his career average over that time span, that would still only put him only slightly above 40,000 points when Kevin Durant is 40 years old. Durant would have to play an additional 2 seasons for the whole season, still putting up over 27 points per game to pass LeBron when he's 42 years old. Not saying it's impossible, but it's damn near impossible. For Durant, injuries really prevented him from obtaining the scoring title, as he was well on his way to getting there before he suffered 2 major injuries in his career. One with the Oklahoma City Thunder, and then again when he tore his Achilles in the NBA Finals with the Warriors and missed the entire following season after signing with the Nets. Even right now, Durant is out of the lineup and isn't expected to return soon. So, Kevin Durant is out. But what about some of these younger guys? What about these up-and-coming superstars that have dazzled the league with their amazing scoring ability? Well, there are a few guys we can scratch off right away. Nikola Jokic, obviously one of the best players in the league and poised to get his 3rd straight MVP. But you have to remember, Jokic took some time to develop. Being a second-round pick, has only averaged slightly over 20 points per game for his career, and is about to be 28. Jokic hasn't even cracked the top 300 scorers in NBA history. Not enough games, not enough time for Jokic to take this title. Another guy that we have to scratch off the list. Joel Embiid. As dominant as Embiid has been over the past 4 or so seasons, he also missed his first 2 seasons in the league due to injury, and then he had a slow ramp-up period once he finally did play. While yes, Embiid won the scoring title last year, is currently leading the league in scoring this year, he also has only played 366 games in his NBA career and is already 28 years old. LeBron has played in over 1,400 games over his career. Just statistically impossible for Joel Embiid to pass LeBron at this point. For more shot-in-the-dark guys like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and John Morant, while young with bright careers ahead of them, they have one thing at their disadvantage that benefited LeBron. And this goes for really any player drafted post-2007. They weren't able to enter the league after high school, and especially SGA and John Morant both coming into the league after their 2nd season in college, making them 20 by the time they were rookies. On top of that, they also got off to slower starts than someone like LeBron, who already put up over 20 points per game as a rookie. John Morant only posted 17.8 points per game as a rookie, and SGA just 10 points per game in his rookie season. They would both have to average over 30 points per game for the next 15 or so seasons to even come close to 40,000 points, and doing so remaining healthy and playing in nearly every game available to them. But let's talk about the one player who has a legitimate shot at breaking this scoring record based on his current scoring output, his age, and durability, and that's Luka Doncic. Now, ignore for a moment when Doncic said he didn't know if he wanted to play basketball for 20 years and would rather go back to his farm in Slovenia. Let's say Luka's goal and mission is to play basketball as long as he can, stacking accolades and setting records for all kinds of stats, because he will set a ton of records based on what he's been able to do thus far. As of right now, Luka Doncic has played in 310 games over his career at 27.4 points per game. He started in the league just slightly older than LeBron did, but he also averaged a tad more than LeBron did in his rookie season. Luka has missed a few more games than LeBron did by the time he was 23, but Luka has been steadily increasing his overall points per game and is currently averaging 33.4 this season, which is more than LeBron ever has over the course of his career. It's safe to say that Luka's career points per game average will continue to go up as he enters his prime. The question is, will he be able to stay healthy throughout that time period like LeBron has pretty much throughout his whole career? And will he be able to sustain the long mental and physical grind all the way into his late 30s? In order for Luka to surpass LeBron on the all-time scoring list, he would need to average 30 points per game for the next 1,136 games of his NBA career, which would mean playing in every single NBA game in an 82-game season for the next 14 years, putting him at 37 years old. It's certainly possible, but we all know no one is able to play all 82 games for 14 years straight. Luka would essentially need to average 30 points per game for 15 seasons, assuming some missed games here and there. It's certainly possible, and if Luka was even able to play longer than, say, the age of 40, it becomes even more likely, but the odds just aren't in his favor. And yes, there could be some incredible, insanely talented player who we don't even know about yet, maybe even hasn't been born yet, who is going to be an elite scorer and will also be able to possess the type of longevity that LeBron has been able to sustain, especially with the advances in health medicine. But even that is hard to believe because what LeBron James is doing is truly 1 in a million. You see, what makes LeBron James such a unique specimen is that he's been able to defy all normal standards of health and science by maintaining his body and level of play for such a long period of time, where you would think he was 25 years old out there with the way he's been playing. No matter how gifted, in shape, or any amount of training can't prepare the body to hold up after so many minutes playing on the court. Unless, of course, you're LeBron James, who currently ranks 3rd all-time in minutes, and the only 2 guys ahead of him, Karl Malone and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who were barely able to stay on the court by the time they amassed this many minutes. LeBron James has gone against everything we thought we knew about career longevity in the NBA. And with his scoring prowess entering the league at 18, the fact that he was able to remain healthy for near the entirety of his career, there is not a chance that this scoring record will ever be broken. Let me know what you think, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.